another 300. So as that comes, we lay.
Didi, we've just been through a media briefing. You gave us, and your colleagues gave us, the lowdown on exactly where you are concerning the water breakdown in Yavongo. But now for the people who are watching this video at the moment, briefly summarize for them exactly where we are concerning that breakdown.
Firstly, let me apologize to all the affected communities in Yavongo. We do understand that it was over the Easter break and it caused a lot of discomfort to them. However, it was a matter that was beyond our control. We tried to rectify the matter as best as we thought. We came up with a temporary solution which did not give us 100% relief, but a little bit relief. But in the interim, we've now looked at implementing a long-term solution which has commenced, and we are hoping that by the end of April, this solution would be completed and then normality will be restored to the water supply.
The way I understand it is that the long-term solution is a rerouting of the supply and a whole new set of pipes.
Yes, the rerouting will entail about 500 meters of new pipe, which will then bypass the area in question, the swamp that we have had the problems with, and it will commence at the SPCA and 500 meters down the road, where it will then join the other bulk supply that goes under the freeway. So at this point in time, we have 200 meters that has already been laid. We're looking at getting the other 300 meters of pipe, so that can also be laid. And once connected, then we will be able to restore the water supply to the affected communities. But in the meantime, we are trying to look at some short-term solutions. And like I said, there's going to be a little bit of inconvenience, but we really do apologize for that.
So what you're saying is there is an intermittent supply at the moment, depending on the pressure. But all things going well, by the end of April, the full supply will be restored. Am I correct?
That's absolutely correct. We're looking at the full normal supply at the end of April. The intermittent supply we are having is at various times, but the most affected communities are those in the high-lying areas, which probably they only have supply late at night till the early hours of the morning when the pressure is restored. But when the demand starts, then they are the ones that are most affected, and we do apologize for that.
The obvious question again is about the call center. You know, people can take breakdowns, they can take days without water, but getting the correct information for planning purposes, that is so important, and it hasn't happened.
No, Johan, we note that, and I think we have received numerous complaints on that. I've personally decided to deal with this matter, and we are now going to be able to make sure that we get the correct information from the control center, who really control the staff on the ground technically, and the call center who interface and interact with our communities, so that we give out the same message and we keep our communities updated. I also apologize for that, but we are really working on improving that part.
Okay, then, something different, but we have to ask the drought situation. Where are we, especially with Harding and then also with the northern areas?
Okay, in terms of the northern areas, we are going to be receiving some assistance from the Department of Water and Sanitation nationally. They have allocated some funding. However, that funding is going to come in the form of services, where we're looking at some additional water tankers that will be leased to us, some static tanks, and borehole and spring protection, where we will be looking at extracting some additional water. So the situation in the north has increased slightly, especially in the Mzinto area. The E.J. Smith Dam has filled up a little. However, we are experiencing some very severe problems in Harding, and if we do not get some rain early, we're going to have very serious problems in that we're not going to be able to meet supply during certain times. We're now looking at implementing a solution immediately that we were looking at implementing 1.5 to 2 years down the line, and that is going to cost us just under 10 million. So we'll have to try and see how we can adjust it, and I've also got to talk to the council and get the council approved so I can reroute this funding so that we can deal with this issue in the Harding area. But Harding now, we really have a problem.
Is it true that the dam is nearly empty?
Yes, the dam is nearly empty. It's just that the river is just flowing at the moment. That's just assisting us. But until we can get a good rainfall in the Harding and the catchment areas, we are heading down a crisis management.
We're not really going into the rainfall season now, are we?
that's really the problem. But you know, with global warming now, the weather patterns are haywire. So I'm hoping that that is the case, and we get some good winter rains, especially.
You're hoping that global warming will help us now.
Well, I'm trying to look at some positive out of a negative, but I'm really looking at some winter rains, Johan. I think it's long overdue.
Okay, but don't want to be alarmist. But now, what if the dam does run dry? What then?
If the dam does run dry, then we'll have to really control water restrictions. Will probably be phase 2 or phase 3 water restrictions. We'll look at alternative sources, trucking in water, all kinds of issues, but it will really be a crisis for us, especially in the Harding area. And we are praying and hoping that we don't go up that route.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.